Good morning, everyone. Welcome to worship. It is so good to see familiar faces and new faces. We're glad this can be a time of solace and peace for hope, people far and near. My name's Laura Horn, and I'm honored to serve as lay worship leader today, along with our tech people, Sean and Julia, who are working behind the scenes for us. Our leader for Joys and Sorrows is Reverend Alex, and we'll ask now that the link for Joys and Sorrows be put in the chat box so we can all use it. Reverend Linda is preaching today. And now I invite our congregation's Vice President, Elizabeth Breeden, to greet us all.
Good morning, everyone. I am grateful for the chance to be on your board of trustees and to offer welcome to all who are joining us for worship this morning. I've been a member of this congregation for 35 years. I have most loved the opportunity to have raised my children in this faith tradition and to learn how we act as a village who are audacious enough to think that we can figure out truth for ourselves, learn from the truth of others, and we have each other's backs when we leap forward as warriors for social justice.
Thank you, Elizabeth. We especially welcome newcomers and invite you to linger after the service to talk with the minister or to join one of the breakout rooms to meet with a smaller group of folks. And now our announcements. First, looking forward to our Thanksgiving services. For the November 22nd Touchstone service, we would like to receive photos from our members and friends of favorite breads and you holding them or eating them. Second, in community worship on the 29th, that's the Sunday after Thanksgiving, we will explore the nature of gratitude as we experience it in these unsettled times. And we hope to include many perspectives and voices from the congregation in this service. So if you are willing to record a short 2-minute video with your thoughts, please let Haley Owens and me know. And you can do it via email. Haley is going to put that email address in the chat box, and we will answer your questions, and we can send you tips for easily making a video so we can all be together in that service. And finally, the service for Mark Goldberg has been rescheduled, and it'll be this coming Saturday, November 14th at 1 o'clock. And now I invite us to join in a spirit of worship with these words from the Reverend Joan Javier Duval, and it's called Here. Here. Here is where you can lay it down. Lay down all you have carried, the weight of the world that has rounded your back, leaving you aching and exhausted. Here. Here is where healing begins, where burdens are set down, and alongside one another's, their magnitude does not seem as great. Here. Here is where the door is thrown open and the light can lift away the shadows, and what was hidden can be seen. Here. Here is where you can rest, where nothing is expected, but that you bring all of who you are into the presence of the holy and of this loving community. Let us worship together.
We are the Breeden family. 25 years ago, all of these children were raised in this community of faith, and it is what I love about this place. If you have a chalice in your home, please join with me in lighting it to these words. We light our chalice this morning, the symbol of our UU faith. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Please join with me in saying, we light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of loving hearts.
Give light, and people will find the way. Give light, and people will find the way. Give light, and people will find the way. People will find the way, I do believe. Give light, and people will find.
I love that song, Give Light and People Will Find the Way. It's a song that inspires me, and it reminds me that when I'm feeling sad, if someone shines a light in front of me, I'll be able to find the pathway to get someplace that I need to go. This week, many of us went to the polling places and voted. Some of us had voted already earlier. And in a way, our votes are a way that we're trying to offer light to the world to help people find their way forward. It's a world that needs light and needs hope. We need to teach one another peace. Sometimes our votes make a difference, and sometimes our votes, while they make the effort, they're not quite enough light, and things don't always go the way we want. I wish that more children and teenagers would be able to vote. I always want more voices telling us that there is hope in the world, and everybody should have a voice in helping us find the way, because with enough of us, we maybe can shine the light of hope into the world. I saw a video recently of some children singing the song, Give Light and People Will Find the Way. And what I loved was the children were singing it to a group of Buddhist monks. People always think that Buddhist monks have found the way, that they know enlightenment, but you know, oftentimes we need the hopes, the wisdom, the insight of children to show us the way. And so, to all of you young people and to all of us who have that hope of a child within us still, let our votes, let our actions, let our songs give light so that we may all find our way.
Give On this Sunday of this historic week, let's listen to the words of the poet Langston Hughes, written 85 years ago and speaking to us still today in 2020.
Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great, strong land of love, where never kings connive, nor tyrants scheme that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. Oh, let America be America again. The land that never has been yet, and yet must be. The land where every man is free. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain. From those who live like leeches on people's lives, we must take back our land again. America! Oh, yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me. And yet I swear this oath. America will be.
America will be, we swear this oath. That poem from 85 years ago, and still so real today. And still we wait for America to be what it has promised. This morning, I'm sure all of us are filled with a wide variety of emotions. After the past 4 years, after the election and waiting for the results, the historic outcome announced yesterday, with all these uncertainties that we're still in and in the midst of the COVID surge, and as we acknowledge that America's struggles with race and economic injustice continue, there are so many strong emotions, and still we wait to find out what's coming next. It feels like we've been waiting a long time. Sometimes we think we're there, and other times we wonder if any progress has been made. We've been waiting. You know, they teach us in school how to wait in lines, wait in line to go outside, and wait in line to go to the cafeteria. As grown-ups, we wait in line patiently when we go to the store to try to be one of the first ones to get the limited supply of whatever is on sale. Or when you go to the popular club or the will call line for the last minute theater tickets back when we used to have a chance to go to the theater. All the times we've learned you have to be patient and wait in line. This waiting in line is a social contract. And I wonder sometimes if it's meant to keep us in line, to behave, to make sure that we are waiting our turn. And then I wonder, what about when the contract is broken, as it is, unfairly, when we see people cutting in line, the VIPs or the scofflaws who can get away with it? Can the line hold them? I've been thinking about all the lines we've had to stand in, believing that eventually we will get to the front of the line. I read an essay recently by a young Latinx journalist, Arelis Hernandez, who was inspired watching the early voting lines in the last month. Those lines are so long and filled with so many committed and patient people. She wrote, "The line is a barrier. It stretches along sidewalks and around corners and through parking lots, zigging one way and zagging back the other. The line is a daunting impediment to those who cannot wait, a reminder of this nation's long history of voting hurdles, protection against a deadly virus, and a defiant response to those who have sought to deny the most basic right in democracy." And then she says, "The line is also an inspiration. The crowd moves with shared purpose. Strangers hand out water bottles. A woman sways to gospel music. Lawn chairs are pulled out and pizzas ordered. Red, white, and blue are the colors of the day." And she decides the line is a promise. Hours of standing 6 feet apart, a few steps at a time, a chance to make a choice. One person, one vote, a right first granted to male white landowners in 1776, then claimed through political and violent struggle by women, Native, Black, Latino Americans, and naturalized citizens. All have a place in the line. And so after I read that, I was thinking that nowadays we have so many lines to stand in with our masks on and 6 feet apart. The COVID test lines, lines to get into stores when they have a maximum of how many people can be in at a time, lines to get donated groceries for those who are out of jobs and need that extra help, lines to get a number to stand in another line. Many people will tell you this is nothing new. They've been standing in line their whole life. And a lot of people don't think they're getting any closer to the promised destination. So I wonder, is the United States moving us, all of us in the line, closer to justice, to equal treatment under the law? When so many of our neighbors are still voting for candidates who promise to protect money, not people, who promise to protect white patriarchy, not the vulnerable in our midst. It is tiring and heartbreaking to see how deeply entrenched some of our neighbors, our family members even, are in their allegiance to systems of domination. It feels uncomfortable, scary even maybe, to wait patiently in line with people who are voting to treat some human beings as if they have no worth or dignity. It is troubling to be in line with people who vote for people who say it's okay to separate children from parents, okay to incarcerate or shoot Black people, okay to let rich people and corporations pay no taxes, all the while they starve social services trying to help people in need. Now, I am speaking these words out of my deep religious faith, my faith in the Unitarian Universalist core concept that we affirm and promote the inherent dignity of all people. That is my religion. And the promise I have always hoped was America's civic creed. I also speak these words with a sincere faith that beneath it all, the greatest sin is when we demonize other people, when we act as if we are better, or we're more worthy, or we're smarter than other people, or as if others aren't quite fully as human. And so it's my religious faith that asks me to wonder about this waiting in line. We are a divided nation. We are polarized. And we're not able to understand each other. We are even fearful of one another. We are hurting and we are in need of healing. This is not a new thing for America. This waiting in line for hours, for decades, for centuries, this waiting in line for the chance for all voices to be heard, voices of Blacks and Indians, women and immigrants, voices of poor and forgotten. This waiting in line, praying that people will be kind to each other even if they disagree. This waiting in line troubles me somewhat. Since my anti-war and civil rights protest days, I found that I prefer joining lines that are not those long single file lines. I like the lines that are wide and broad with many people side by side, facing in the direction of hope and healing. Like carrying a broad banner in a parade or a march for justice, we walk side by side, a united front. But after about a half a century of being on those front lines, I am realizing now that even that kind of line meets barriers and doesn't help healing. When you're in that kind of line, you're confronted by an opposing wide line of people with sticks and guns who dare you to get past them, who yell at you instead of listen. So I'm beginning to think that the only lines that will really work in this divided and hurting society is the line that makes a circle. A line that lets us look at those beside us and those who are across from us. A circle that encourages us to talk with each other and hear each other, to tell each other what is making us angry, what is breaking our heart, and what is tiring us out. A circle that continually opens to let in more people join in the curving line, that leaves no one out, and a circle of people who can remind each other of our civic creed to not dehumanize each other, and to be able to stop someone who would do violence to the group. Maybe if we talk with each other in a circle and see each other as human beings, maybe we can begin to heal. When we wait in single file, we don't really know what's going on way far ahead of us or way behind us. And we can only talk to those few people that are near us. And forming those wide side-by-side ranks, we end up confronting the other across battle lines. Maybe if we talk in a circle, that line will finally move us forward together, like a wheel rolling with the momentum that gives each person a chance to lead, to follow, to move along with the whole group. Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for all of us imprisoned, circle for release. Circle for the planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children. Keep the circle whole. In the coming days, as we face our nation's challenges, it is good to remember a message that was sent out this week by the Unitarian Universalist Association president, Susan Frederick Gray. She said, "We celebrate everyone who has worked so hard to make this election free and fair, expressing our shared commitment to waiting vigilantly for all voices and all votes to be counted." So in the midst of all that's happening and all of our uncertainty about what's going to happen next, showing up safely together in this powerful way can serve to reground us in our faith, our commitment to democracy, and our shared ministry. And then what can hold us when we get discouraged about the wounds of the nation, about the forces in our nation that are trying to demonize people, try to suppress the votes, try to suppress the interests of people without power. How can we work with this and not ourselves become demonizers of the other? I offer this thought from the Reverend Dr. William Barber for inspiration. He founded the Moral Monday demonstrations in North Carolina to put an end to voter suppression there. He leads the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. And this week, he reminds us to keep our eyes on what we can do to heal. He said, in the face of all this, we have never been more clear. We still have work to do. Our work has never been about an election. Our work is to organize the poor, the homeless, the uninsured, the sick, the unorganized. From the hood to the holler, we must mobilize people who have long been forgotten by our political system. This is a movement, not a moment. And so my message to you, dear ones, on this very special weekend, celebrate what makes you hopeful and cry those tears of what makes you sad. And then, to help heal your own wounds and the wounds of a divided nation, look outward to one another and to all those in your community. Form lines that create circles. Talk with your friends, listen to those who have been left out, and also honor the worth and dignity of those who disagree with you. Listen deeply, ask searching questions, speak your own truths, and never give up on all the people who are in this line with you. Organize with them. That is what we can do to help heal a hurting nation, to keep moving forward as a whole community. Today, I'm going to let music be our benediction. I think music carries so much message that I need in my heart. And so we will extinguish the chalice of this worship service. But let us vow to let the light of the flame of faith keep shining in each of us so that we can all give light, give hope, teach peace, and help all people find the way. Keep the faith. Give the faith away. Keep your light shining and keep on moving forward. We can do this. Si se puede.